Aging and Awesome is a production of the Nevada Senior Care Foundation and Consider It Done Productions, and proudly presented by Lend a Hand in Home Care and Transportation, where our caregivers make the difference. NB Legal Docs, they are the trust masters. Infinity Hospice Care, a family of caring. Boomer Naturals, feel your best with Boomer Naturals. And Senior Care Plus, Nevada's wellness partner.
Hi, welcome to Aging and Awesome, a show designed to tackle the challenges that seniors and their families face while giving you a positive look at being older. I'm Joe Delaripa.
And I'm Kai Sisson. Today, we try to define good grief. After the death of her closest family members, we show you one woman's journey through grief and how overcoming it is a lifelong challenge. Plus, our friends at Infinity Hospice Care explain how to help others dealing with grief.
And losing a loved one is sad. There's no way around that. But when we reconvene with Erin Breen, a look past the sadness to show how we live on in memories.
Pickleball is one of the fastest growing community sports in the nation. George takes us to the court with a lesson on how to ace with grace.
Plus, a look at my radio debut with Alice 96.5's Landon Miller, and a ride in Kai's cab a little later in the show.
All that and more next on Aging and Awesome.
You got me running wild, you make me feel alive. Ooh, make me wanna believe. Ooh, I feel your heart and soul, perfectly in control. Put up and count in your spell now. So lay it on me, child. You know you drive me wild. You got me feeling like, ooh. She make me feel alive, make me feel alive. She make me feel alive, make me feel alive. She make me feel alright.
Losing a loved one can be the most painful parts of life.
And grief is the natural process that comes after a loss.
Everyone has different ways of dealing with grief, and calling it good seems like an oxymoron. But after the death of most of her family, Heather Wolfe is teaching us all about finding grace in your grief. Have a look.
So, my story, boy, 7 years ago, my life took a turn. My husband and I lived in Santa Barbara. We were having a really nice life. He had a great job. I had a nice interior design business there. And he came home one day and said, "We're moving to Las Vegas." Unfortunately, his mom was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer, so we had to go. Fortunately for her, she passed 4 weeks later, so she didn't suffer. But what happened to us is the real estate boom, it fell out, so we had to stay. In those 7 years that we were there, I lost my entire family over a course of those years, and most recently my husband and my mom. So my husband passed away suddenly. He wasn't sick, we just didn't expect it. He was 56 years old, he was the love of my life. We had this great life planned, and in an instant, he was gone. My mother, who was 90, had lived with us for the last 9 years. And so everything that had happened, I still couldn't mourn it because I had to really step in and take care of her and make sure she was okay. She passed away a couple years ago, and when that happened, the grief door opened up for me. And there was days that it just felt like a tsunami would hit me. There was days that I literally could not get up because the grief was just so intense. My whole life that I had planned was gone. And I had been a caretaker for so many years, I didn't know who I was when I wasn't doing that. So it got a little drastic for me. I sold everything I had in Las Vegas, I packed up my car, and I moved clear across country to Asheville, North Carolina. I spent a lot of time in solitude trying to figure out what this next chapter was going to be for me. And what I learned was I had to move through all of the grief with grace. And the grace was really for me, to take the time to love on myself, to put myself first, to figure out who I am at this point of my journey. It wasn't easy at all, but I'm so glad that I did it because grief taught me what a beautiful gift it is. There's so much that you can learn from it. I realized that I had been holding back so much in my life because I was always taking care of somebody else and always putting other people first, that I got to figure out who Heather was. And what I found out through all of it was I am a caretaker. That's who I am. I'm here to love on people and to make sure that they're okay.
After several months in North Carolina, a longtime friend invited her to Reno, where she found a job at Fernley Estates, an assisted living and memory care in Fernley, Nevada.
And I get to love on 66 of the best residents in the whole wide world. I come to work every single day because of these people. These are the people that feed me.
She now empathizes with families and residents in a unique way, seeing a reflection of her life in theirs, with a special lesson to share. With great grief, great grace is just around the corner.
If there's one thing I've learned through this whole process and this journey, is that I have to be more graceful with myself.
Joining us now here at Lakeside Manor is Bobby Davis. He's the Director of Counseling Services at Infinity Hospice Care. Bobby, you saw in the story there, just an amazing woman, how she overcame, and grief is not something you get over necessarily, but you get through. What do you see working with families through hospice?
Sure, and exactly that. It's not something that we just overcome, boom, we're fixed, and that we process through stuff, but it's a journey, I think, definitely. We do everything from anticipatory grief with preparing when we know that our loved one is going to pass. What does that look like? How are we processing that? Things like that. To even after our loved one passes, then what does that look like? Because it's a new normal for us. We've had a significant loss, and so that piece of us is gone. So we do a lot of processing with the patients and families as well, just on what does that look like? And ideally, it would be nice if there was a roadmap, something we could say, we're going to go through anger or denial and these 3 or 4 things, and then we're going to be okay. But we know that's not the reality. We see a lot of people who have to pick up and totally change their environment to overcome things, just like this young lady, And so a lot of times it's people and patients just kind of taking a step back and kind of letting themselves feel the grief. We don't always do that well. We want to put a face, a strong face. And I think sometimes we limit ourselves when we do that.
How do you think people that are maybe friends or family members of someone who is going through grief, how can we be empathetic? Because we all are in this together. We're all going to go through death eventually. How can we help each other?
So I think one of the main things is just being understanding and letting them kind of go through the grief process and not expecting them to be okay and be at a better place within a certain amount of time. We're not very good at allowing people to feel their feelings and emotions and things, and so I think just being there for them, supporting them, encouraging them to be sad if they need to be sad, or get angry if they need to get angry, and just letting them go through that so that they can really process those feelings themselves, and just support them, walking beside them kind of thing, touching base with them on a regular basis. How are you doing? Mm-hmm. What do you need kind of thing, I think is a huge piece of that.
So important. And what I love about Infinity too is the chaplain services. So there is a spiritual aspect of death for a lot of people.
Absolutely.
And what does that entail?
So when we come to end of life, we really reflect a lot on our lives, and then also the spiritual piece and what that means to us and what we believe happens afterwards. And so we do have spiritual counselors who meet with patients and families on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm. Even after someone dies.
Exactly. And so we actually can follow a family up to a year after their loved one passes, just to offer support, prayer. That's very comforting for a lot of people. I worked with one lady who she really struggled with losing her husband, and so the chaplain and I would meet with her about once a week and basically just talk with her, and he would pray with her just to give her that comfort kind of thing. We also do a celebration of life, where we once a year remember everybody that has passed over the past year, and families get to come together and kind of remember positive things about their loved one, which is good. Also with that, sometimes it'll trigger an emotion or a feeling that they had, and so sometimes they kind of revert back to getting sad again, but we're able to work with them and just process and kind of remember the good times that they had, the memories they built.
Absolutely. Sure. Death and grief, an important topic, a topic we don't really like to talk about, but I really appreciate you coming on the show, Bobby.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Still to come on Aging and Awesome, we tune into Joe's radio debut and check in with George.
Stay tuned. You're watching Aging and Awesome. Good grief. Good grief? Good grief?
Well, a lot of people would say there's no such thing. I mean, grief is innately sad. It's almost always about loss, and it's something we're all going to face. But in and amongst the sadness, you just might be able to find a path to the positive. So sometimes you have to just admit when something's over, when someone's gone, and maybe it's the end of an era that's arrived. Shannon Adler once said that there comes a time in life when we have to choose to turn the page. We have to write another book, or we got to close the book altogether. Losing someone that we love is just out of our control, so it sometimes is all about learning just how to deal with it. But that doesn't mean that you should ever forget the times and the people in your past. I think that you can honor them by remembering the memories of such well-spent time together, of the wonderful things that they brought to your life, and of the lessons that you've learned from them you can probably pass on to others. You may know that I've become kind of an audiophile these days with the podcast, AaronMeandBreen.com. Go there and listen. Well, I heard a podcast done through Radiolab a while back, and it really did stick with me. Now, the premise was that we aren't ever really gone until people stop remembering us. They proposed that our souls go off to this sort of a train station somewhere, and as those remembering us diminishes, then the last person has had the very last memory of us in life, then we're sent on through that station onto our destination. Now, I love that. And I do believe that even after we're physically gone, we do all live on in the memories of others. So you know what that means? Never stop talking about those that you've loved, even if you've lost them. Remember them and celebrate what they brought to your life. And also be conscious of how you're impacting others with your life, because someday they'll be remembering you. Or not. No, they're gonna remember you. Just do good things, huh? But maybe that could lead to some good grief. I'm Aaron Breen.
Reconvene with Aaron Breen is presented by Infinity Hospice Care, a family of caring.
Lakeside Manor is the official home of Aging and Awesome. Living at Lakeside Manor means pleasure for the residents and peace of mind for their families. Rooms are available now, starting at only $15.30 a month. Take a tour of Lakeside Manor today.
At Senior Care Plus, we're more than just a Medicare Advantage plan. We're your local experts in helping you understand the facts about Medicare so you can make the best decision for your health. Confused about Medicare? Then you'll want to attend our educational seminar on the ABCs of Medicare. This is not a sales meeting. It is a free seminar where you'll learn about all of your Medicare options so you can make the right choice. ABCs of Medicare. Reserve your seat today. Call or visit seniorcareplus.com.
Aging and Awesome is brought to you by Donald Bernard, Investment Fiduciary and Senior Vice President of Investments. Native Nevadan Donald Bernard has built an outstanding reputation specializing in retirement. For income ideas, give Don a call. No client is too big or too small.
I'm in my 50s and have played professional golf for more than 30 years. I'm still one of the longest drivers on tour. I've had multiple surgeries over the years, and my busy plane and travel schedule have really taken a toll on my body. I was introduced to Boomer Naturals Golf CB5, and I use it every day. One of my favorite products is a roll-on. It works, and my game's never been better. No matter your age, Golf CB5 can keep you in the game.
CB5 comes in gummies, tinctures, roll-ons, and creams. Learn more at boomernaturals.com.
NV Legal Docs LLC, they are the Trust Masters, is a proud sponsor of Aging and Awesome, providing affordable wills, trusts, and estate planning document services. They are much different than your typical expensive law firm, offering flat fee pricing customized for each family. Having a trust is so important, and the NV Legal Docs team will explain at their no-cost, no-pressure seminar. Book your spot today and give them a call at 775-683-3100. Living trusts. Don't leave Earth without one.
Someone you love needs a little help with the ins and outs of day-to-day living. A friendly companion right at their door. A personal touch, now that's caregiving. Call on us at Lend a Hand. We're locally owned, a family business. Lend a hand, lend a hand. Our caregivers make the difference.
Aging and Awesome is brought to you by Eden Home Health, Northern Nevada's highest rated home health for quality of patient care. Patients have a choice. Ask your doctor for the best in-home health care. Eden Home Health.
Welcome back to Aging and Awesome.
It's known as the fun sport with a funny name.
Pickleball is becoming one of the most popular games amongst older adults across Nevada and the country.
Let's head over to our state's capital, Carson City, where our buddy George Crozet is about to learn to play. Hey, George.
Thanks, Kai. Hey, welcome to the Max Center here in Carson City for some pickleball. For those of you who don't know what pickleball is, don't feel alone because I don't either. So we're going to take a lesson on how to play pickleball. It's one of the fastest growing senior sports around. It's great for cardio, great for movement, and more important than any of it, it's the social factor of joining a program that has so much passion with all its competitors. So stay tuned, we're going to learn some pickleball. We're going to try some pickleball here, and I'm not going to lie to you. I got a little anxious going about it. I'm a little nervous. There's some anxiety. But then you know what? Anytime we start something new, we're going to feel nervous and anxious and have some anxiety about it. So what do? You jump in, get through it, and move on and enjoy this great group of people here for some pickleball today at the Max Center.
72-year-old Dave Whitefield is a USA Pickleball Association ambassador.
We're going to try a little exercise and see what kind of coordination you have. So we're going to do this with the ball. I want you to take the ball and just pop it. See how you do. Give you a feel for the paddle. Come down. There you go. There you go. All right. Yay. Good job.
And now for a little warm-up. Pickleballers call it dinking.
So I just drop it and hit it?
There you go.
Imagine how much fun this is.
While dinking, Dave reminded me the importance of safety, even in pickleball.
Where whenever you're playing this game, because the ball can ricochet off your paddle, it can ricochet off your partner's paddle, so I want you to put those on before we get going.
So it's really nice to see that one of the first things we talk about is safety. As we do get older, we tend to be a little more concerned about getting injured.
We're going to teach you to serve.
Okay.
And once we do that, we'll be ready to start a game.
Cool. Start a game, like real game?
Yeah.
Like for points?
Yes, for points. The serve has to be an upward motion.
Okay.
So it's underhand, not like tennis. You can't come overhand on the serve. You got to come under the ball. And the highest point of your paddle can't be above your wrist. Good. Great first serve. If you can do that every time, you can play the game.
I can dink, I can serve, now I'm ready to play.
George!
Okay, I'm ready.
What are you doing?
I'm ready.
Oh no, it went past him.
It went by already?
Yeah, we missed that. Good job.
I feel like I'm getting the hang of this. I got to know some of the other pickleball players, including one of my opponents, Dave Oliver. You wouldn't know it by his incredible athleticism on the pickleball court, but Dave's health is far from perfect. He recently battled leukemia.
And one of the things they told me through that whole process is move every day. Get up and do, regardless of what you feel like, keep moving.
His comeback was truly incredible. A later diagnosis of graft versus host disease made him unable to play most of 2019. But today?
So blessed just to have survived that.
Well, you have every excuse in the world to sit down and say, I don't want to do this.
Well,
but you have the drive and motivation in you to come out here and say, you know what? I have a beautiful day out. I'm going to use it to my advantage. You, young man, are quite the inspiration. Well, thanks, Dave, for what a great instructional, great event. This pickleball, I think I can get hooked on this. No, I know I'm hooked on this.
Yeah, it's you have to be careful. This is an addictive sport.
It's another one of those great sports for seniors that you have the ability to come out here and just get started in the basic entry level and just kind of go on cruise and learn the basics of the game. And once you do that, then you can start picking up the pace if you so desire. And what a great social event. Everybody here has been arms open, and I feel like I've been part of this community for quite a bit already. So once again, thanks, buddy. Can't wait to see you on the courts.
Thank you very much.
So much fun over there in Carson City. We actually got to play as well. And I learned a fun fact, Joe, that pickleball, the name Pickleball, is actually after the inventor's dog. His name was Pickles.
Oh, that's very interesting, because people do ask, where'd that name come from?
It's a fun name and a fun sport.
Very interesting.
And it is so cool to see men, women, young, old. Everybody loves pickleball. Closed captioning for Aging and Awesome is brought to you by
Medicare in your future. Attend an ABCs of Medicare seminar sponsored by Senior Care Plus. These free seminars are held the third Wednesday of every month at the Senior Care Plus offices in Las Vegas, Reno, and Carson City. Senior Care Plus, Nevada's wellness partner.
Still to come on Aging and Awesome, an all-new contestant is in the back of my vehicle. Buckle up, we're coming in hot. But first, Jo made her radio debut on the Reno Media Group's Alice 96.5 with Landon Miller. Jo, did you have fun on the radio?
I thought it was great. I enjoyed it very much.
Yeah, you were doing well. You got to talk to some people in a different way who might not have seen you on Aging and Awesome, but you were pretty funny.
Yeah, it went across real easy. It was easy.
And I loved how you named some of the, Landon was having you guest DJ, so you were naming some of the newer artists, Lizzo, Little Nas X. You did great. It was hilarious.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us. Be sure to tune in to Landon Miller weekdays 3 to 7 p.m. on Alice 96.5. You're watching Aging and Awesome. We'll be right back.
Aging and Awesome is brought to you by my friend, Marsha Rambeau, with Transaction Realty 500. With over 30 years experience, Marsha Rambeau is an advocate for seniors. If you're looking to downsize and make a home better fit your lifestyle, call Marsha Rambeau today.
Chiropractors like Dr. Brenda Hilby have found a solution direct from Mother Nature to help their patients. Introducing Boomer CB5, a botanical blend of powerful terpenes that gets the body back in balance.
I'm very glad that my chiropractor has introduced me to CB5 because it has changed my life.
I recommend Boomer CB5 to my patients, and I recommend it to you.
CB5 comes in gummies, tinctures, roll-ons, and creams. We know you'll love it. Learn more at boomernaturals.com or ask your doctor about CB5.
Customized coverage for your healthcare needs. Your Insurance Agency, serving Nevada seniors for over 50 years. Your Insurance Agency offers all Medicare plans. You need a plan as unique as you are. Your Insurance Agency has agents across Nevada. Call 775-209-1010.
Aging and Awesome is brought to you by Infinity Hospice Care, family owned and operated, serving Nevada for over 10 years. They provide dedicated, compassionate, expert care for your loved ones. Visit infinityhospicecare.com today.
Life is story. Pages of amazing adventure and narrow escapes. Bold steps taken, races run, chapters on love and hard lessons and new beginnings. Your life, your legacy, our privilege to serve. Morningstar Senior Living.
Hey, wait a minute. What in the world? Who's in the cab today? My goodness gracious, hello.
Brenda Retterer.
Brenda and your friend?
And that's Cody.
Brenda and Cody, welcome to Kai's Cab.
Well, thanks for having us.
Brenda, do you know the rules to the game here?
No.
If you get 3 out of 4 questions right, Brenda, you are the winner of a fantastic prize, chocolates today. And Cody will get a dog treat. How about that?
Oh my gosh. That's the best news I've heard all day.
All day long. Well, welcome. Let's get going here, Brenda. Your first question, my dear. Which planet in our solar system spins the fastest? Is it A, Earth, B, Jupiter, C, Neptune, or D, Mercury?
Neptune.
Oh, no, it's Jupiter.
Oh.
Jupiter in just 10 hours.
Oh, I just flunked.
That's okay. You're allowed to get 1 wrong, but you got to get the next 3 right, okay?
Okay.
Here's your second question, Brenda. In 1961, the Berlin Wall was erected separating East and West Berlin. When did it come down? A, 1997, B, 2004, C, 1989, or D, 2010?
1989.
1989 is correct. Cody, did Cody say that or was that you? I couldn't tell.
Yeah, he did.
Cody, look at that puppy. He's just having fun. Your third question, Brenda. Which member of the Beatles was married to Pattie Boyd? Is it A, George Harrison, B, Paul McCartney, C, Ringo Starr, or D, John Lennon?
Let's go the first one.
George Harrison. Is that your final answer, Brenda?
Yes.
Yeah.
It really was?
That's really correct. You know, that Hey, Beatles, right?
Yeah.
1960s? What were you doing in 1961?
I was going to school in Sacramento.
Okay. What brought you to Fernley?
My husband retired. He was a biologist, and he wanted to leave Reno, so we drove out here and we liked it, and we moved here a long time ago.
Okay. Yeah. Well, welcome to Northern Nevada, Brenda. So you are 2 out of 3. You got to get the next one right. Here's your 4th and final question. What phobia is the fear of animals? Is it A, tachyphobia, B, xenophobia, C, zoophobia, or D, pyrophobia?
Zoophobia.
Zoophobia is correct, Brenda! There we go, my dear! Winner in Kai's cab.
Well, did you hear that, Cody?
Cody's happy. He gets his treat, and you get some chocolate.
Oh, good. Well, you're a great presenter. Gave good hints.
Thank you. You are a wonderful contestant, Brenda, and you're welcome back anytime, okay?
Thank you.
Aging and Awesome is brought to you by Lend a Hand in Home Care and Transportation, family owned and operated, serving Northern Nevada seniors for nearly 30 years. Compassion-driven quality care in the comfort of your home. Call Lend a Hand today, where our caregivers make the difference.
That's all the time we have today. Thanks for watching Aging and Awesome.
Our challenge for you this week is a personal one for me. I lost my grandfather to cancer last year, and I never really grieved his death. And as we learned earlier in the show, grief is a process, and it happens differently for everyone. Well, I went to the place where he and I went a couple times a year for a really long time, just north of Elko, for some ice fishing. And I remembered the times we had, the laughs we shared, and all the things he taught me. It was a really cathartic weekend, and at the end of it, I found myself much more sad than relieved. But I know by doing what we did together again and again, we'll keep his spirit alive in my heart, and I hope you can find ways to do the same for your loved one.
All of us are so excited to tackle the challenges seniors and their families face while giving a positive look at being older across the state of Nevada.
We'll see you right back here next week, Saturday, 7 p.m. on CBS in Northern Nevada, and Saturday, 7 a.m. on the CW, Las Vegas. Also an encore showing Sundays at 11 a.m. on MyLV TV.
In the meantime, be sure to follow us on social media. Head to our website, agingandawesome.com, and set your DVRs to record Aging and Awesome each week. That way you never miss an episode.
We've talked a lot about death in this episode, I know, but just a reminder, we are looking to feature people in Nevada who have passed away. It's called the Aging and Awesome Legacy Program, and it gives you the opportunity to feature your loved one's passing in a unique and memorable way. Remember them by informing thousands of viewers across Nevada who they are and the legacy they left. Head to agingandawesome.com to submit your loved one's legacy today.
And this show would not be possible without community stakeholders who are bettering the lives of our seniors through Aging and Awesome. From all of us, a big thank you to
Lend a Hand in Home Care and Transportation,
Infinity Hospice Care,
Morningstar Senior Living,
Donald Bernard Investment Advisor,
Senior Care Plus,
Eden Home Health,
NV Legal Docs, the Trust Masters,
Marsha Rambo with Transaction Realty 500,
Lakeside Manor, and your insurance agency. We'll see you next week.
1, 2, 3, listen.